So ignore my beautiful scenery. I had to go behind a building to record this because it kind of just came on a whim and I really wanted to create this in a moment. But several months ago, I made a video on the topic of strength. And I had realized the entire time while creating it, I had felt kind of uncomfortable and disheartened with what I was saying, and I almost didn't even fully back it in a sense, but I had chalked it down to just tripping myself out. I hadn't posted in a while, whatever, but I posted it, and throughout the day I'd still felt really uncomfortable with it, like really uncomfortable with my idea and what I'd come up with for strength. So I quickly took it down the next day. But hold on, sorry, but I had always kind of left that idea alone as somebody who sort of tries to think about everything, tries to categorize everything, find logic, every topic. I kind of always left the idea of strength alone because I never knew how to fully comprehend it in a way that satisfied me. And so over time I just kind of left the topic, and I was like, maybe it's just like not something I'm like supposed to touch, whatever. And as of recently, I've had a few realizations about it, and I'd realized the reason, I'll explain, I had felt so uncomfortable was, I'm gonna put it this way. Imagine somebody you tell, you're gonna have to be strong for this, or you imagine somebody like, oh, they're so strong. Whenever you are envisioning that person, keep one in mind, somebody you think has to be strong or who has been so strong in the past. You kind of almost put this label of victim on them. And it's almost like a looking down on, like, oh, you pity them, like it's like you feel sorry for them, not look down on in a derogatory way. You know what I mean, though. It almost puts this label of a victim on somebody. And so I'd realized, I had told myself I just need to be strong for this, for example, several months back. I need to be strong for what's coming. And I realized that the idea of that, of telling myself I had to be strong, it made me uncomfortable. It gave me anxiety. It actually had made me anticipate the worst, and it would make me like think, it put me in the mindset of bad things are coming. You have to tense your muscles and walk through the fire, you know? When you think of somebody who needs to be strong, you think of like needs to be strong. You think of like a warrior on a battlefield with like a sword, and they're like on their knees, but they're still going forward. And I want to reframe an idea around that. Whenever we believe we're strong, or have it as a defining character trait of ourselves or another person, again, it's almost putting an aura of being a victim around said person. And I had realized, again, that's why it had made me so uncomfortable, made me tense up and like anticipate bad things, and made me so just uncomfortable. And so I had really realized that strength is like a muscle. Sorry about that. But strength is like a muscle. It's comparable to physical strength. You think of a muscle, you exercise it, you work on it, it gets trained. You become stronger naturally. You lift things easier, it's bigger. You have that trained. I think strength, mentally and philosophically, is similar. I think strength is a natural resilience that comes from experience. You go through hardships, you realize the next time around, if this similar thing happens, I know how to approach it. I know this, I know whatever. And as opposed to, actually, I'm gonna go back. It's also sort of like your immune system, this comparison. You can get sick with something and it recognizes that. So if it enters your system again, it easily recognizes it and dispels it a lot quicker. I believe that's also another aspect of strength in a true definition to me. Again, you go through said hardship, and then you're stronger for next time. You build understanding of the world, of others around you, of yourself. You build compassion, empathy, and knowledge and wisdom. At the end of the day, that's what strength is. It's not something you have to keep and hold and be, or like a defining characteristic you need to have, but that, like, not that, it's a wisdom. It's growing, it's working on the muscle of your mind, of your experience, of your understanding, And it gives you this beautiful opportunity to, again, understand others, understand the world around you, and even lead and help others and who might be going through similar situations, for example, who haven't had a need to be strong in the past like that. And I just kind of wanted to come to say, you don't have to put yourself in the victim's shoes to be strong. You know, you can simply face hardship stoically with a calm face and be like, it is what it is at the end of the day. No defeat is real until death. Every single defeat is mental until death. And I think that's a good thing that goes hand in hand with the idea of strength in the way that I'm defining it in this video. And yeah, at the end of the day, strength is seeing a difficult situation and being like, how can I find the solution? How can I efficiently get through this? How can I lead others around me through this? How can I learn from this and build the muscle that is my mind, my understanding? And I think through that, strength can be a beautiful thing. It can be actually a tool as opposed to a defining character trait or something you need to be necessarily. It's experience and wisdom and the ability to go, it is what it is, and it'll be fine regardless. Everything will be okay regardless. And just need to solve this problem. I just need to go forward. And so, yeah, I want you to think of the song Stronger by Kanye West, because coincidentally the other day while I was driving, I was thinking about this concept to make for a video. It was just ideas were coming onto me. And the song just comes on, and the way he sings it so matter-of-factly. Like, I don't know the exact lyrics, but it's like whatever doesn't like bring me down makes me stronger. And he's not singing it in a pitiful way, like I went through this and this and this and I became strong and I rose. No, he's just like, in the song, it's just like what doesn't bring me down makes me stronger. Like, just matter-of-factly. And there's no garnering of sympathy of any sorts in the song. It's just stronger, faster, better, forward. And I think that's a beautiful way to think of strength. I might throw a bit of an insensitive example out there, but think of someone you might know who'd post like one of those like text post images on Facebook or Instagram of like a lion, for example, and they've got like blue fire around their eyes, and there's some overhead text that's like, I'm strong and I'll keep moving forward despite how many times people wrong me, or whatever the hell, you know what I mean, like that kind of shit. I don't want you to think of the kind of person who's posting that. Generally, the kind of person who posts that kind of thing is the kind of person who sees themselves as this victim, or somebody who sees themselves as someone that life constantly throws bad things their way and that they're gonna have to be strong. And I hate that idea, and that's why the idea of strength had made me so uncomfortable, because I told myself I have to be strong to keep going forward, but that made me uncomfortable, like telling myself I needed to be strong, because again, it's insinuated that I would be going through shit over and over and over and it wouldn't end. And so that's why I don't think it's good to label yourself as strong or tell yourself you need to be strong. You just be it. Again, like I said earlier, you face problems, solution oriented, calm face, how can I solve this? And I know sometimes not every scenario is like that. Maybe someone's yelling, abuse, whatever, yelling at you, you're in a dangerous situation. I want to emphasize, I understand that. But in this video, I want to explain my redirection of the idea of strength and how it can be compared to a muscle on your arm that you exercise, but it's your mind and your wisdom and your understanding. Because at the end of the day, when you become the strong person, you become the victim. And again, you don't have to put yourself in a victim's shoes to be strong. You can just be it. You can build that natural resilience of your mind like a muscle and use strength as a tool to utilize, as opposed to a label you need to hold on to tightly. You know, again, it's like when you think you have to be strong, you're tensing your muscles and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have to walk through the fire, I'm gonna have to do this. You don't have to do that. It's as simple as that. You don't have to do that, and you could reframe this idea of strength in your mind and go in with a calm mind if you can, and be solution oriented. Just the next day, imagine something terrible happens. Maybe someone comes up to you and they're like, "You're so strong for that." Instead of being like, "Yeah, you know what, I am." Just be like, "I guess you can call it that, yeah." You know, as opposed to like everything I've said so far. You know what I mean? Just be like, "I reckon I am," if like, you know, that's the word for it. But yeah, I think that can also just be a very beautiful tool, and we can also, again, help and guide others in life with that built muscle of resilience in our mind. But yeah, I think I had another point to make, but I'm gonna pause real quick. And through this video, I don't mean to degrade people who feel the need to view themselves as strong for everything they went through, or strong for continuing to go through. Again, that can be an empowering thing, but and it can help people, and it can be very useful, but it can also perpetuate this victimhood and kind of consume your life in this idea of being a victim, and that's not what you want to be. Your life is not going to be good if you view yourself as a victim. Your life won't be productive or comfortable if you view yourself as a victim, as this person who has to tense up and always be strong and always hold themselves together for everyone else, for themselves. That's not a comfortable life to live. You don't have to live in this struggling mentality of strength, this almost false idea of it. You could just be it. I hope I'm not upsetting people. Again, this idea of strength that I'm dissing throughout the video can be empowering to some and can be helpful to some, especially if you're really struggling and can't exactly get to a point of this resilience so instantly, obviously. You know, everybody needs experience. You need experience. You need to go through these things. But, yeah, that's just my opinion I wanted to share on this redefinition of strength, because I had been thinking about it lately, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around a traditional definition, or this definition that tends to be held within this day and age. It didn't ever feel comfortable to me, and I couldn't wrap my mind around why. And so yeah, I just wanted to share. If you have any input you want to add, I'd love to hear it. I love to talk to you guys in the comments. I love to just know what you have to say. I like to read it and I like to respond, and especially if you have experience on this, relate to what I'm saying, I'd like if you gave me a little message under this video. I'd like to talk to you guys, but yeah, peace. I believe that's it. Don't be strong, just be strong. If that makes sense. It's all about perspective switching. Everything will be okay at the end of the day. It is what it is, and all defeat, again, is mental until death. Don't forget that. Don't live in a state of fear or discomfort. Alright, bye-bye, peace.